Hello and welcome to All Aboard and a brand new week. Adam here from Board at Home, and I'm so happy to welcome you back to our weekly news and updates. So obviously for those who weren't aware, I was away for a couple of weeks with my wife celebrating our 10-year wedding anniversary in Norway. If you want to come to the shop, I'll be more than happy to bore you with all of the details, but suffice to say, it was absolutely amazing. I loved every moment of it, and what a special way to celebrate with someone as truly astonishing as my wife. But we are here. We are back for the last week, and here with our new and latest episode of All Aboard. And we do have quite a lot of stuff to go through on this one, so we will just dive right in. So we are going to begin with this week's game of the week, and that is Marie Curie, in the footsteps of Marie Curie, to be precise. This is a brand new game from Hachette Board Games, and sorry are French, and it follows on from the phenomenal In the Footsteps of Darwin, which came out last year. This game, similar to that one, will have you working your way through their life. In this one, you'll be collecting a variety of different elements and such, and creating these different brews and stuff. I'm not a science guy, so but very much a sort of resource management game. This one is a little bit of a step up in terms of complexity and weight from Footsteps of Darwin, but if you played that one, then this is a great natural next step to jump onto, following on from that. As I said, you follow through the life of Marie Curie as she uncovers the various sciences and stuff. Again, not a science guy, so I'm not going to pretend to know all the words. But absolutely beautiful game, a joy to play, and a welcome addition and worthy successor to Footsteps of Darwin. So that is this week's game of the week. Next up, we have got a couple of small games, Rummy Rami and Wednesday Creatures and Outcasts. Now, Rummy Rami is what they call a modern take on the traditional card game Rummy. In this, you have a little market where you'll be drawing cards from and adding them to your hand, and then you have contracts or objectives to fulfill in order to score you points and various suit bonuses as well. That'll give you extra points at the end of the game. Lovely, lovely little game. Quick and fast. If you enjoy your small card games, Cracklist, Uno, for example, even things like Rummy, Quirkle Rummy, anything like that, then this is definitely one for you to consider. Just absolutely fantastic little card game there. Next up is Wednesday Creatures and Outcasts. So this is obviously based on the Addams Family franchise, Wednesday in particular. This one is a game where you are trying to get rid of your cards as quickly as possible. You've got your high value cards, which you want to try and get rid of and play at the right time so that you're not stuck with them. Again, another just lovely little simple game, small box, you can carry it anywhere with you. And again, if you just like those small box card games, just something that you want to whip out, play, takes maybe 15-20 minutes, then this is definitely one to consider. All of these so far have been are in our library as well, so you can come along, take a look. I'll be happy to show you through the games as well. Just ask and we can sit down and we can give you a demo of that. Next one up is a Castle Combo, and this one just, wow, I absolutely love this game. It's a tableau building game where you will be recruiting various characters from either the village or the castle and adding them to your 9-card tableau. That's in a 3x3 grid. Each card will have an ability that will either reduce the cost of other cards or give you one-off bonuses when you buy them. And all cards will then have a scoring bonus as well, with some objectives that you need to complete, such as having certain sets of shields, having certain number of certain cards, for example, or having cards in specific spaces around your 3x3 board. Lovely little engine builder as well. The cards all sync and combine and combo off of each other. and plus the artwork is just really nice as well. The cards are very clear, everything is very distinct, it has its place around the card, and they have a handy little guides that shows you all of the symbols, and the symbols on the guide are kind of modular, so you're like, okay, this, and this means this. So very, very easy for you to work out what every card means without having to have walls and walls of text for each individual card every time. If you're a fan of engine builders, then definitely give this a go. Same with tableau building games. This is also from the people that made Faraway, so if you enjoyed Faraway, then this is definitely one to follow that up with. Faraway at the moment, probably one of my top games of 2024 so far. This might be a contender for that. Again, it is in the library if you want to try it out before you buy, and we do have plenty available in stock too. Behind there we have got Gateway Island. Now this is one that caught my eye immediately from the pre-orders months and months ago, and it's an introduction to board games in a sort of in a nutshell here. There are 21 different mini games in here, as well as the components that you need to run each mini game, as well as a rule book that details all the mini games. Each one will have a focus on 1, 2, or 3 board game mechanisms, and will teach you how those mechanisms work. So 21 games in here, so there's a lot of different games to play, to discover, and there's also a lovely little booklet in here that breaks down all of the board game jargon that we tend to use, and board game hobbyists like myself and some of the more sort of hardcore board game players out there tend to use and take for granted, like things like set collection, trick taking, worker placement, where we know what these mean, but you use it around someone who maybe is just getting into board games, or hasn't really played a lot of board games, and suddenly you're speaking Greek to them. So the inclusion of that is absolutely lovely. On a side note, as part of our Talking Shop series, we will be talking about the sort of different jargon that we use in the board games industry. So do expect to see Gateway Island feature as part of that series, as it does an amazing job of giving an introduction to the wide range of board game mechanisms and rules out there. Again, you can come down and try it out, and we have plenty in stock for sale as well. Sneaking up at the back here, we have got the Far Cry game. So again, this is another one that has been sitting on our pre-orders for quite a while, and we are so excited to have this one in. This one is based on the phenomenal video game hit Far Cry 3, by far still one of my favourite Far Cry games out there. Absolutely love it, love the plot, love the whole open worldness of it all, and you get to recreate that in Far Cry Escape from Rook Islands. So this is a cooperative game where you will be working together to overcome a series of trials and challenges. There'll be wild animals and warlords and drug lords and mercenaries after you. There's weapons that you can collect. It basically emulates the whole survival and action aspect of the game. Each player has their own player boards here as well, which will navigate you through your game. If you've played Far Cry before, then I would recommend giving this a go. I've seen some videos on this previously, and they do a really, really good job of emulating that Far Cry experience, translating that from the video game to the board game. So if, like me, you're a big Far Cry fan, I would recommend this. This is $59.95, so a hefty price, but a hefty game as well. Then finally, on the board games front, we have got a restock of Sky Team. So again, another one that arrived whilst we were away, and again, one that we've been waiting on for months and months and months. Sky Team is a 2-player cooperative game where you are acting as the pilot and co-pilot, working together in order to land your plane. You'll need to make sure that the flight path is clear of other planes. You'll need to make sure that you've properly engaged your brake pads, that you're maintaining a good speed and a flat parallel axis as well, and there's a whole variety of other things that you'll need to keep an eye on as well. Really, really good fun. Even the base game in here represents a good challenge that I reckon will take a good couple of times to complete. There's also a modular component to this, so there are what they would call, I guess, expansions included in the game that you have different airports, and with those airports they bring on different challenges as well, extra bits that will be added to your pilot and co-pilot boards. So things like fuel, for example, in one of them will be a factor for you. What really, really sets this game up for me is the fact that each player has 4 dice, but 2 of your dice always has to go in your speed and in your axis to make sure your plane is flying straight and true, leaving you only 2 dice per turn to figure out the rest of them and what you are going to do. Some of them need to be done in order, others can be done in any way that you like, and as you can see, hopefully on a larger screen, you can see that some of them care about what colour they are and indeed what numbers they are as well. So it's not just a case of putting this here, putting this there, because you may actually need to put something very, very specific in there, making your choice all that much harder. So this is a restock from a release from last year. This has been selling really well for us. So if you are interested in this game, I would recommend sooner rather than later for this, as we don't know when we will be getting more back in stock. Finally, for the product highlight, we are moving over to the roleplay section and the release week before, of the Player's Handbook for the 2024 revised edition of Dungeons and Dragons. Now that sounds like a bit of a mouthful, but that is the official title that they're giving to this one. A lot of people referring to it as D&D 5.5. Some people just calling it a revised edition. But suffice to say, it's the new rulebook, and having been through it, it represents a lot of new information to you. A lot of stuff has been reworked, yet at the same time they've given us a lot of stuff that is still familiar, so it still feels like the species and the classes that you've been playing from the original rulebook, but with a few changes there. It is also fully compatible with the original version, the 2014 rules, so if there's a subclass that is not in this book but is in, say, Xanathar's Guide to Everything, Tasha's Cauldron, or indeed the original Player's Handbook, then you can actually upgrade those subclasses to fit the classes from this book. As I said, it's a welcome addition, a welcome change as well. It does freshen things up for the players, and we do have it in the normal and the alternate art covers as well. In fact, we've probably got more of these than the normal cover, so if you are after the alt cover, do come on down. Everyone that buys one of these will get a special D20 as well whilst the stocks last, and as we mentioned in previous media, that anyone that plays Dungeons and Dragons at the shop will get a 10% discount on the Player's Handbook as well. So that's just a little thank you from us to you as a way of your support of the shop by choosing to play here. Next on the RPG side of things is we have some new dice in. So always on the quest for the best dice for you guys. We've now got Tabletop Dominion in, and these guys, their dice are absolutely beautiful. We've gone for their mystery dice packs as they sell like hotcakes here, and it's always fun ripping them open, wondering what you're going to get inside. The trading card game fans get to do it all the time with boosters. Why should they have all of the fun? We can have the same fun as well. We have got the acrylic dice here. We have got the soft resin dice here. we have got sharp edge dice, and we have the metal dice as well. Absolutely beautiful little sets, even with the just the standard acrylic dice. Really nice, really clear, and said so many different designs that you can get in these as well. So if you are looking for some new dice and you fancy a bit of a chance, do come on down, pick up one of our mystery dice sets and see what you get. Moving on from those, we will be looking at getting some more of their dice in the near future as well. Some of their more specific sets, so do keep an eye out for that on our social media and in store. Finally, with the product highlights, I just wanted to go over one game that's not really a new game to us, but we took it to the Westwood Cross Independence Day on Saturday just gone, and it sold like hotcakes there. We decided we needed to crack one of these open, find out what all the fuss was about, and that is Cadaver, this game here from Cheapwell Games. So in Cadaver, you are all necromancers trying to stitch corpses back together. It sounds gruesome, but it's not overtly gruesome in the cards itself. So you start with a hand of cards as well as a small market in the middle with various resources in it. You'll have different cards such as the corpses. The corpses will have 2 to 3 symbols on them that will tell you what resources you need, whether that's brains, scrolls or potions, in order to complete that corpse. You then get to put that off to one side to score later. There's also other cards such as accomplices, which will allow you to buy certain cards from the market, be that brains, scrolls or potions. And then you also have other things which act as hindrances to your fellow players, such as ghouls, which allow you to steal corpses, and coffins, which allow you to seal them away so no one can do anything with them unless they happen to get a key as well. So it is a really good, fun, quick, sort of like take that set collecting game. And we had an absolute blast playing it last night. Just an absolute amazing time with this game. Everyone had a good time. I got royally stitched up, pun intended there, right at the last turn. Someone took my last corpse and completed it for me, and I was left without being able to take my final turn as I had nothing useful in my hand. But those are the breaks. The sort of like the feel bad, the saltiness of it, but nonetheless, an absolutely fantastic game that I can thoroughly recommend to anyone that is looking for a fun party game, especially with Halloween coming up at the end of October. So that is everything for our product highlight. I hope you found that informative. If there's any questions you have about anything, just ask us a call, drop a message below, email, come to the shop. Always happy to chat further about these games. So now we move on to our events. So our schedule at the moment is largely the same. Over the last couple of weeks, have had a thought about some things which we will discuss in just a moment. But firstly, we do want to welcome Altered officially to the events schedule. Altered is a brand new TCG, unlike any other TCG that has come out so far. Very unique, very innovative as well. And it is a game that is all about exploration rather than combat. So there's no combat in this game whatsoever. You've got beautiful, stunning artwork on all of the cards. And the really innovative and unique thing about it is that the cards will have variations of each other, and they're also uniques as well. And they do mean unique in that sense that if there's a unique version of a card, then that is the only version of that card with those particular stats, those particular abilities in the game. Full stop. So that's really cool premise, as well as things like their deck construction as well. I could go on and on and on about this game, but if you want to try it out, come on down on Tuesdays. That's from 7 o'clock till 10 p.m. And pick up a starter deck. We have a few of them left. We will also soon have a restock of booster packs as well. But yeah, absolutely phenomenal game, and that will be running every Tuesday evening from 7 p.m. until 10 p.m. So come on down if that sounds like your bag. Then, following on from that, we are looking at our Sundays as well. So we are looking at moving our Sunday Lorcana to just a monthly event with our winner box that we currently run once a month, as well as the set championship at the end of every season. The winner boxes have been a massive success for us, and certainly a big draw for you guys, to the point that we feel that that should be the main focus of our Sundays. Our Thursdays are running really well, but our Sundays are a bit hit or miss in terms of Lorcana outside of the store championships. So we are thinking about other things that we can run as part of a new monthly schedule, a new monthly cycle for other games as well. So we've got sort of 3 weeks really to fill each month. We are looking at things like a monthly Star Wars event, a monthly Dungeons and Dragons Battle Royale, which previously has done really well, Blood on the Clock Tower, things like that. But if there's any ideas that you guys have for what you think would make a great monthly event, something to be run once a month on a Sunday, then do let us know in the comments below. Pop into the shop and have a chat. I'd love to hear your ideas. Ideally, it would be something that you would intend to come to, not just I think this will be a good idea, but I won't be coming. I want to hear about what you would like to do on Sundays here at Board at Home in the boardroom. So drop us those ideas. As I said, come and have a chat. Always open to discuss things like this with you all. So that about wraps everything up for this week's video. As before, if you have any questions, just give us a shout and we'll be happy to answer. And of course, we look forward to seeing you in the boardroom. Thanks for watching.